Hello and welcome to MIS102. My name is John Miko and I'll be the instructor for your course for the summer 2022 Module 1 offering of this course. And I'm recording this intro video, this getting started video, for a couple purposes. One is to review the syllabus, and the second one is to review Canvas and the materials that we'll be using to facilitate the course. So without further ado, I'm on the home page, which I'll give you an overview in a moment. I'm going to click on Syllabus, and in the Syllabus page, I'm going to click on the 2022 Summer Syllabus. I'm going to download it just so it takes up more of the screen so that we can view it better. And I'm going to go through some of the important elements of the syllabus. So you'll see a couple things. This is a 7-week accelerated online course. That means accelerated means it goes fairly quickly. So, as an active learner, your first task is to get acclimated to this course by reading through the syllabus and watching these getting started videos I'm preparing. Because it's accelerated, we also have weekly deadlines beginning with first week. And it's really important that you adhere to those deadlines. So, your first task is to read the syllabus. So some information, there's my instructor information. There's my name, my email, my office. There is our course website, the Canvas. My preferred communication channel is email. I check my email regularly. If there is something that we need to discuss, you can email me and we can set up an appointment for a Zoom or a phone call. I will get back to you rather quickly. Here is all of the information about accommodations and assistance, about tutoring and testing center, my bio, which we'll also introduce each other in the bio profile tool. But some of the things that are most important, this is the course description for MIS102. Really, I'm going to kind of paraphrase here, but what we're talking about in this course is how businesses use information systems and information technology for competitive advantage to be more effective and more efficient. So we're going to talk a lot about hardware, software, networks, databases, how we use communication tools, all those good things. Now, the required text and software tools, we use a book called MIS. It's by Cengage. It's by Big Doley is the author. The easiest way to acquire that text is, and this is an old picture, but it's the same for summer 2022, is through a link in our Canvas page. Basically, that will give you a link to acquire the text that'll be linked with the Canvas. And it is, I think it's $119. But that is, a small price to pay for a tool that will facilitate this course. And if you think about it, you don't have to drive to campus. You don't have to, you have flexibility. So I think it's a small price to pay. So this is through Cengage. If you're taking my Excel class, if you get Cengage Unlimited, both this book and that book are part of that deal. So it's one price for both. Now, if you're not taking my Excel class, that doesn't really benefit you, but Cengage Unlimited gives you access to all Cengage products. The other things you need for this course, you need access to, the Microsoft Office suite of products and obviously the internet and Canvas. Here are the intended student learning outcomes for this course. You can read through those at your leisure. Once again, there's no face-to-face meeting dates. This is all online. It's asynchronous, meaning you don't have to be online at a certain time. There are deadlines, weekly deadlines. You are expected to keep up with the course each week by learning, by watching videos, by reading the text, and by doing the assessed assignments. This is really important. Late assignments will not be accepted. Deadlines are deadlines. I will make weekly modules available at least a week prior to their due date. You'll see right now I have week 1 and week 2 rolled out. So by week 2, I'll have week 2, week 3, and probably week 4 rolled out. So you can always work ahead if you have a vacation coming up or a big work commitment or a big family commitment. Please work ahead. That's okay. There's a lot to do in this course. but I think it's quite manageable, especially if you can manage your time. Here are our dates for this course. We begin in earnest on Monday, May 9th. We have 7 weeks, and we end on Sunday, June 26th. These are the chapters we'll be covering. We're not covering every chapter in the text, but we're covering what I feel are the most important ones for an Intro to MIS class. So that's the outline. So course requirements, readings. Every week there will be a reading. Okay, I think the book is structured very nice. It is very readable. It's kept up to date. There's a lot of good topical information in it. There'll be weekly discussion lecture responses. There'll be weekly exercises, case studies. These will be facilitated via Canvas. There'll be quizzes. You'll have 2 attempts at every quiz. I'll keep the highest score. So you won't get the same quiz at the same time, but you'll get a quiz from a pool of questions. And there's also mind tap exercises. These are meant to be simulations, real life kind of simulations, facilitated through Cengage Mind Tap. So at the end of this course, this is how you'll be assessed. The chapter quizzes, once again, which you get to take twice, are 45% of your final grade. The weekly exercises, case studies, are a quarter of your grade, or 25%. The mind tap exercises, you'll see those, I'll show you those when we get to the Canvas portion of this, are 15% of your grade. And the weekly discussions, lecture responses are also 15% of your final grade. So, all of these things are important. The chapter quizzes, because this is a 100-level class, understanding basic terminology and how to apply it is probably the most important. But the other things are more applying the technology, which is very useful in the business world. The grading scale is here, kind of a standard grading scale, I think you'll find. Here are some of the information about lecture responses. It's supposed to be you're going to reply to a thread. You're not going to post an attachment. It should be a substantial response. It should not just be, a few sentences. It should be a paragraph or more. I'm saying 350 to 500 words. It should integrate class material, okay? It shouldn't be all your opinion. It should say, according to the text, we learned this, or according to something else. You're applying course material. You're also required to respond to your classmates, and appropriate responses aren't like things like attaboy or I agree. Give a couple sentences to, we really want to facilitate some good student-to-student interaction in this case. There'll be weekly exercise case studies. These are typically things pulled from industry. Intel Corporation was doing this, Facebook was doing this. Here's an ethical situation. You'll be required to, you'll see how these are structured. You'll be required to answer these and upload via a Word document. That's the rubric I'll use to grade that. There's the general university course policies, the academic honesty policy, which is very important to me, and the Franciscan goals of higher education. Now, the syllabus is important, right? That's the contract for the class, but I'm going to kind of go over here to Canvas, and that is probably where you will spend a majority of your time. So a couple things. Let's cover the 4 icons on the bottom first. This is a link to the module where our book and MindTap is. So this is a link to our online text and where the MindTap exercises are. If you click on that, it'll ask you to log in with your Cengage account. If you don't have one, you'll have to create one. This is where you can get courtesy access to the book. I think it's 7 days, and then eventually you'll have to pay for the book and the MindTap exercises. This is a link to our syllabus page, which I already showed you, so if you ever need the syllabus, it's right there. This is a link to our YouTube videos. This is me going over the material. So you'll see here's a video of me talking about Module 1, Part 1, which is Sections 1 to 3. Module 1, Part 2, which is Sections 4 to 6. Some Porter's videos that I'm reutilizing for Module 2. Here's Module 3. So anyways, these will be linked into the various modules you'll see in a moment, but this is a link to our playlist. And this is a link to my professor information page. Where you'll spend most of your time, this is in the content page. The other icons here, start here, that's just the getting started module. You'll see that in a moment. The idea evaluation at the end, that's the course evaluation, and support, any kind of support you might need. But let's go, for this point, go to content. And I want to show you what this looks like. So for the getting started module, that's kind of like day 1, day 2 of the class. Here's what I want you to do. Step 1, introduce yourself in the bio profile discussion. Post a picture of yourself, or make sure your Canvas ID has a picture of you, your Canvas profile, I should say. You should watch these videos. I think actually it's only going to be one video. The video I'm recording right now is going to be linked here. You should go to the syllabus and review the syllabus, which you're doing as well. And then you should acquire the book. So these are the things we need to do to get started, right? That's going to be very important for you to do like day 1 or day 2 of this course. Now, every other week will be structured very similar. In that, let's look at week 1, chapter 1. All items in this module, all the assessed items in this module are due May 15th at midnight. That's Sunday at midnight. Okay? Now, how will you learn? So, learning activities, if I click on Read Module 1 Information Systems and Business, this is a link to our online book in Cengage MindTap, and you'll see what this looks like. This has, so I link here Module 1 Reading, and this is a link to our book, has hyperlinks, and you're going to read Chapter 1. Okay, I think this is a very good book. Very well structured, very, very easy to consume, very clear. So that is one way you're going to learn. The second way is there's a link to a page of videos that I've recorded on Module 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess there's 5 videos, 3 that I recorded and 2 that I borrowed from YouTube. I want you to watch all 5 of those videos. It's like being in class. It's me going through the material, okay? So that's part of the learning of this course. And the other thing is the Chapter 1 PowerPoints. So these are PowerPoints. You'll see that those instructor videos use those PowerPoints. But if you ever want to print them down and take notes, it's very useful for that purpose. Now, assessment activities. These are all the learning activities from Module 1. Everything linked in this section is assessment activities. These are things that are due May 15th. These are 4 grades, everything in here. So there's 5 things you need to do. First one is a week 1, chapter 1 discussion. This is, I put out a lecture prompt. You need to reply to this and follow the instructions. So this is going to be to facilitate discussion between you, me, and other students in the class. The second thing is this Chapter 1 quiz. This is going to be an objective type quiz, multiple choice. You can take this up to twice, right? Remember, this is 45% of your grade. I keep the highest score. So if you get an 80% the first time, weren't quite happy with that, take it again. Maybe you get a 95%, maybe you get 100%. I keep the highest score. There are case studies. So if I click on week 1 case studies, these are cases that are taken from the book. Looks like the first one is on FedEx. The second one is on Nordstrom. And it has 3 questions. You are to copy these questions to a Word document, and you're to give substantial answers that use course material. These are applying course material, not just your opinion, applying course material. Okay. So this week we have 2 case studies, case 1 and case 2. You'll put those in a Word document and upload it. What else do we have? Well, every module we also have MindTap assessment activities. So Module 1, use it, and Module 1, you make the decision. Tries to put you in the seat of an information systems professional and talks about how you use material. So if I click Module 1, use it, it'll link out to this MindTap, this Cengage tool that we've talked about. And these aren't hard, but you need to do them. Okay, and it's loading. Okay, start assignment now. You are limited to 3 takes of this assignment. So there's a simulation here where a manager and you are discussing things. I think we can make a video that will explain the basic idea and show people working out on their own, or with friends, we could post the video on what. Okay, so, understanding some basic parts of MIS information systems, some little quizzes in here where we have to match the things. What is information? What is a data? What is a process? And examples of that. So that is Module 1. Use it. And there's also out here, you make the decision. So this is another kind of applied exercise via MindTap. So I'm going to click on that, and you'll see, and once again, it's going to bring it up, and I click next. It talks about, it gives you a situation. You go through the situation and ask you some information about that situation. So this is meant to be applicable to you. Okay, apply the material, puts you in the seat of a decision maker using information systems. So every module is going to be structured a lot like that. Week 1, all items due. So these are the learning activities. These are the assessment activities. 5 different assessments for week 1. This is an accelerated course. I know it sounds like a lot, but we cover in 7 weeks what we normally would cover in 14 weeks in a regular course. Chapter 2, you'll see, is also available. All items due Sunday. Similar structure. 3 learning activities. 1, 2, 3, 4 assessed activities. Week 3, not yet available, but it's going to be the same structure as before. You need to do all these. Remember, deadlines are deadlines, okay? Make sure, though, very early in this course, you get access to the course text and you get acclimated with the course. Once again, it's accelerated. I don't want to go back and I don't want to extend deadlines. In fact, I will not extend deadlines. So it's real important that you keep up with things in this class. If you have any questions at any point, feel free to reach out to me. I will certainly help you. I don't want you to get lost. I want you to have a good experience, and I want you to learn a lot about MIS102. Once again, I really look forward to this semester, and I will see you online very soon.